The Club World Cup on Footy Prime.
And one more time, JC. Just one more time.
Everybody, join the club. It's the Club World Cup on Footy Prime.
It is the Club World Cup on Footy Prime. Yes, we are another day into this tournament. And, man, we had an absolute classic yesterday, which we're going to get to very soon. But I know before I forget, Dubs has something she wants to talk about regarding the Chelsea match and a certain referee perspective we saw in their 2-0 win with this body camera, right, Dubs? Now, we can't roll this in because it's not part of our agreement, but you can find it on social media.
Yes. And do. So it's the Neto goal, which is a tremendous goal, great ball in behind by Nicholas Jackson, well-timed run by Neto, and then he chops it back and he drills it near post. But to see the perspective of the referee with this cam, like a body camera that's on the referee, is brilliant. So, I mean, just that, I think it lends so much to the game. I think you're seeing the rule changes that are being employed by the Club World Cup. But I mean, this is an absolute winner. You know, the goal proved to be, but I mean, this element and this rule change and this angle to it, I think it brings so much.
It doesn't almost look real. It looks like a video game perspective, right?
Yes.
That first person POV.
Mm-hmm.
It is really cool. It's like, is that AI or did it actually happen?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It also shows how difficult it is for referees and how quick things are happening around. And at field level, it's a tough job. But it's time to put that in. I mean, they've done it in rugby for quite a long time. The referee cams, right? So it's a winner. It's here to stay, I think.
Yeah, and Sharms, you saying like first person perspective. Sorry, Jimmy, just one last thing. Like, you never want the referee to be the protagonist. You want the teams to dictate the play. You don't want the referees inserting themselves into the game narrative. But to Forrest's point, I think it gives fans, it gives everybody involved in the game, even on that field level, compassion and empathy for the person making these decisions, because you see what they're doing, what they're having to keep up with, like the brilliant play, the breakneck pace, the world-class athletes that they're having to be right there.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's amazing to see the perspective of the referee, because we never get to see that. And just seeing them trying to keep up with the play and just how fast football is today, and it's end to end. There's no rest for these guys. One thing I think they should do is have a spring in it, because I was like that myself watching. I felt like I was running.
No, yesterday you had the Jimmy rule, and that's all you get. You don't get to put no more amendments, Jimmy.
But you mean like a stabilizer, right? Jimmy?
Stabilize.
Like a stabilizer.
Just as he's running and it stays. Because I was like
a steady cam.
I was running.
Yeah, steady cam.
Yeah, vertigo.
The technology is there. They have the technology.
They do.
Yeah, it's a bit like watching Cops. Is Cops still a TV show? But you see, the police have the.
It is in your house with that 4 DVD pack you bought.
I love
bad
Cops.
boys, bad
amazing.
boys. What you gonna do?
But imagine it nowadays with the body cam on the police. It's so important to have that perspective again, to have the respect for them. Like, man, that's a pretty tough job. Whether you're a cop or a referee, very similar. Dealing with dickheads all the time.
Into police, all kinds of stuff. Yep.
Yeah. But listen, back the game in Chelsea won it in the end pretty handily, right? But that was the first time, I think, where the stadium didn't look great. 71,000 potential in Atlanta. And
context, Sharms. Context. 3 PM, right?
That ball.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Atlanta on a Monday, right? Is what I looked at. Yeah.
They got, I think 22,000 was the official number. I mean, regardless of when it is, though, I mean, it just doesn't visibly look that great. I think Jimmy mentioned it a couple of shows ago, how there are smaller soccer-specific stadiums that we might be at the point where they're the stadiums you put these games in.
Especially on your Monday, Tuesday afternoon run, give people an outdoor place to show up, because 22,000 at BMO would be jammed, right?
Means 30,000 their capacity, but it'd be good. It'll look good for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I think you need somebody who's on like the FIFA board making these decisions, who's going to measure expectations, because they think everything is going to come off a treat always. Like, it's almost like the bar is too high. So you need somebody to bring them down a little bit, down to earth, and say, like, realistically, a 3 p.m. kickoff, maybe this isn't the best venue, right?
Yeah. Well, but it's Chelsea LAFC. I mean, that's one of the glamour ties you'd think. It's one of the glamorous teams in MLS in the United States against Chelsea. You know, they have fans around the entire world, one of the biggest supported teams in the globe.
Yeah, on the other side of the country for LAFC.
There you go.
On the, to your point, Dubs, managing expectations, even in your, hey, we think we can sell out here. We think it's a Monday at 3:00 game in a huge metropolitan space. I don't know if that garners as much attention as they think it would.
I think you're bang on there. I think there's a lot of comparables. Soccer in North America, how perhaps it's not as popular as we hope it is or to be from a viewing standpoint. We're just not there.
Right.
Now, I hope the World Cup's different. You think it would be different? A lot's going to depend on the pricing. I think they're going to create
passport, travel, all those things will be a big difference. But I have to say, I don't want to come across negative here. I've been not just surprised, but encouraged by the support at the stadiums. I mean, someone put, PSG playing, and it was empty. Then all of a sudden it was 60, 70, 80,000 people.
That was at Spartan, wasn't it?
I think that was that Rose Bowl, Craig?
Oh, maybe it was Rose Bowl. Yeah. But I mean, apparently it was an absolute gong show to try to get everybody inside.
Oh, right.
So like the full context of it was that everyone was outside the stadium at kickoff and then everybody trickled in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a work in progress, right? But I mean, the World Cup, like I said, I would think will look better as far as the fans. But even at World Cups in football in countries, you don't always sell out the first round of games. People think you do, but you don't. There's often empty seats in those matches. Then it gathers pace, gathers steam. I tell you what, the Boca Juniors game yesterday, that looked great. The ends of the stadium was all blue and yellow. The Boca Juniors crowd. It may not have been a capacity stadium.
And you talk about social media, Sharms, them arriving, going to Miami Beach, and all the imagery of them at the beach. They had the flags. Everyone was in the water. Boca Juniors supporters travel well, and it looked like they had a blast.
Sorry, Wonger, that first goal was sublime. That the flick on into space, perfectly timed run, nutmeg, and then a great ball into that near post and just touches it beyond the keeper. It was brilliant.
By the way, was that a penalty?
Yeah, it didn't look like one to me.
I mean, again, it's a tough job. I want to see the referee cam perspective for that. He went to VAR with that one. He went to the side of the pitch, didn't he?
If you're listening on our podcast right now, we're watching the highlights. So not as descriptive as we could be, but we're trying to be. How about that? But the match was. Did you guys watch it? Because I watched it. It was the match I actually had to turn away for about 15 minutes where South America and Portugal showed some of their chicanery, their shithousery, where they were faking for about 15 minutes. And the ref, as Stephen said in our podcast, Stephen Hart said it was a shit show for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, but well managed by the referee. And so 2-0 down were Benfica, after like 26 or 27 minutes?
Yeah. Yep.
And then 3 red cards, one before, I think, the equalizer, and then 2 more afterwards. And then the one that we just saw was it Bellotti with the cleat that's really high up? And then he's given a yellow. He's cautioned for it. Then they go to the screen, and then he's sent off.
Well, he actually, and if you see it, he actually kicked the guy in the back of the head with his cleat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, though. Was he on a yellow for that one? Because he kind of barges through the player. And if that was a straight red, I don't agree with that.
Oh, it was an elbow. He threw an elbow.
No, I think he called it with a stud on the calf.
Oh, was that it?
He went in high.
Okay.
If you go back and you watch, he goes in high. But I loved the explanations from the referee.
Yes.
I loved it. I had a couple of giggles at times. I'm sending him off because studs to the back of the head, number 8.
Yeah. Or he caused penalty. He caused a penalty.
He caused penalty.
He caused a penalty.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen
the match of the tournament so far, right?
Yeah, for sure. The back and forth, the drama, the referee getting involved, but seemingly making the right decisions. For sure. That's the reference point now at this point. I mean, really early on in the Club World Cup. But one of the other rules that was sort of instituted was, again, taking inspiration from rugby. the referee. So a couple of times, and I just caught the highlights. I watched most of the Chelsea LAFC game. I missed this one, kind of questioning my choices in life given that choice. But regardless, it looked like there was we'll leave that there. But there seemed to be a fair amount of players around the referee when he was on the mic and making the announcements, whether he was rescinding the yellow and awarding the red, or reviewing the penalty, going to VAR and then awarding the penalty that Di Maria kind of rolled home really patiently. So do you guys know, like, Jimmy, did you watch that game? Wong, or you did? Like, did it seem like there was like the players kind of around, but they were giving the referee space?
No, it didn't seem like that at all, to be honest. I didn't know that was
time, isn't it?
You reminded me that was one of their new rules, because a few of the times there was a full-on congregation around that ref, and it wasn't the two captains speaking. So
yeah, it's going to take a lot of time to drum that out of players. And you can do it. It's like diving and embellishing. You got to just throw out cards, but they won't, I don't think. I think it's one of those, we're going to try this, but do your best, lads. You don't manage it, it's okay. But I think it's potentially a great rule if they can follow it up. By the way, Boca Juniors, haven't seen them play for so long, but the kits are amazing. I'm not a kit guy, but god damn, they look good on the pitch, don't they?
Yeah. The best.
South America.
Go to Argentina and watch them play.
For an experience in football, South American football is like tops.
So Bombonera is where they play, and
just
I would love
brilliant
to go out there.
Yeah,
I was thinking about what Jimmy was saying too about the refs and the having to make the call. They're English, like all of a sudden you're being judged on how you communicate as one of these refs too, eh? Like it's a whole thing, because he's now on the mic in front of 80,000 people speaking another language. A lot of these guys, for them, like having to be bilingual. You might get a job if you're a really good communicator. That might elevate your standing as a referee, whether your refereeing is good or bad.
For sure, you're absolutely bang on. Absolutely, yeah, that'll be a factor now.
Yeah, they might have options to podcast post. That good at communication. Give us a call, guys. Give us a call. So we got 4 more games today. The early one at noon Eastern is Fluminense against Dortmund. That's going to be interesting. River Plate, as I mentioned, another great kit, the red sash. They've had the sash for a long time. I'm not always a fan of the sash, but I love it on River. Against Urawa Reds. That's one of those matches that, I mean, Christ, what do you expect? I have no clue what to expect, but that makes it intriguing. Same with the Ulsan of Korea against South Africa's Mamelodi Sundowns. Again, don't know what to expect, but it's so intriguing, that kind of matchup. Because, I mean, when else would these two teams get to meet in a match? Probably last summer, for all I know. But
if you're choosing your match based purely on the names of clubs, which contest are you watching?
Well, we have Monterrey into Milan as well. That's the late one.
Well, yeah, okay, that one. That's the match. But if you don't know any of the teams,
overall
today,
just today.
Depends whether I'm hungry with River Plate, or if I need some vitamin D with Sundown, or maybe I'll go the other way around.
Or I like River Plate. It's a nice dinner plate with a nice red.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm thinking River Plate Urawa Reds is probably the one.
It's making me hungry.
It's like a romantic dinner by candlelight, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But with the way River Plate, it won't be romantic at all. It'll be nasty and volatile, and there'll be a food fight.
I wanted to add one last thing. I know you've got to go here, Sharms, but Leon was booted from the Club World Cup, but the fans still showed up. So we bemoan fans all the time, I think, especially in North America. But the fact, because of the club ownership, Pachuca gets the nod, they get booted. And then that's why you had that playoff, right, between LAFC and Club America. Because of the club ownership, Leon gets booted, but the fans still showed up saying, well, I won't say what they said, but they're very, I think, loud in their displeasure with FIFA and the governing body and their decision making.
You could have said it in French.
Va te faire foutre, FIFA.
There you go.
I'm sure you said club foot in there somewhere.
No,
I did not.
No,
you didn't.
No.
I'm sure you did. Well, anyway, that's our little mini pod here for Tuesday's edition of the Club World Cup. You can sign up to DAZN to watch every FIFA Club World Cup game for free. So do so. It's been pretty good so far, guys.
Yeah.
I know people want it to fail, and there's some haters out there, but kind of enjoying it. I thought I might. And we're just a couple of days in. So we'll do the same thing again tomorrow. But again, let us know your thoughts on the Club World Cup, what you're liking, what you're not liking. And the ref cam. Make it available to us, please. DAZN, I want to play that on this show and talk about it because it's really, really cool.
I want to see the Sharman's pie cam.
No, you don't. Till tomorrow. Bye.